Hey moms, I'm Jen, mom of 2 boys, and today I wanted to do a unboxing for the Good and Beautiful curriculum. So my youngest is a kindergartner and my oldest is a 6th grader. And so I love that the Good and Beautiful gives you a curriculum that you can download and print yourself. But I personally decided on the version where you purchase it and it sends it all to you because, like, let's be real, printing out that entire booklet was going to be a little bit more complicated. So on their website, when I did my purchase, basically it said that if you purchase like 5 books, you would get free shipping. So that's what I did. So I got the activity books for birds, geology, mammals, ecosystem, and arthropods. So my first reaction is covers are great. When I opened them, I didn't realize, like, I know it said activity book, but for some reason I thought it was going to be like reading books. It's actually really great because it's got a lot of fine motor skills, pre-handwriting skills of tracing, matching, super fun, almost like something that the kids could do independently is what I would say. And it's kind of themed out on the different units that you can expand on. All right, so the next thing in my box is my math textbook. Again, graphics are beautiful. I do love how the Good and Beautiful makes it so easy to just buy like a package of everything that you'll need and just send it all to you. You don't have to mix and match curriculum, at least for this level in kindergarten. I do appreciate the ease of that. So my first reactions about math textbook, and again, I did work as a teacher. My degree is in exceptional student education, and I taught in the gen ed classrooms for a couple of years as well. So my reaction to this is all of the subjects that it goes over, I think is fantastic. I would say that my recommendation for using this is the way that they have most of it is almost like 2 activities on 1 page. So if you notice, there's these lines right here. My suggestion would be either fold up the pages as you're doing that, fold the pages in half so it's not too stimulating for the kids, or use a blank page that you can kind of cover another area. So basically like this, do that at a time. Because I do think that it is a little overstimulating for the littles. You know, there's just so much going on, and so to focus them, I would use maybe a blank sheet of paper to kind of identify the exact area that they're working on. But as far as math, I think it's great. It scaffolds pretty good, which means that it starts from the bottom and it builds up on the skill. I feel like this is something that, you know, isn't going to take you very long. You can do a couple, maybe 1 to 2 lessons at a time, maybe a little bit more. It has all the lessons broken down. And so if you are a homeschooling mama, what I would do is like figure out what your time frame for homeschooling is. If you want to do 4 days, 5 days, things like that. And then break down the lessons that you would have to cover per day to make sure you're meeting that deadline for your homeschooling calendar. But other than that, yeah, it's great. It starts off pretty simple. I would even recommend getting it during their pre-K year and start building towards it a little bit early if you know you're going to be a homeschooling mama. Next thing is your language arts and literature. So now language arts and literature, I do think that in kindergarten is such an important thing because you're getting your decoding and your phonics skills. So this is something that you definitely want to spend some time on. It does look like it starts off pretty easy. If you don't have an educational background, I do love this because it breaks everything down for you. It also tells you what to say to the child. It tells you exactly all the materials you need, what to say to the child, what the directions are. And there's also a homeschool app that you can use to kind of reinforce the skills that are on here. So I would say that this is great. Again, graphics are beautiful. There is a little much on the pages, I would say. But again, use that blank sheet of paper to kind of narrow down what it is that you're working on. But other than that, I think it's beautiful. I think it's a perfect beginning curriculum for a kindergartner. I think if you are new to homeschooling, this is perfect. It has everything right there for you. All right, handwriting book is another thing that I added into my kindergarten package. Now, for some reason, I was expecting a larger handwriting book. So I don't know if I just didn't read the description right, so I was a little shocked to see how little this was. However, I will say that what I love about this is by kindergarten, your child should already know like 1 through 10 should be able to identify like first step, second step, third step. So what I would probably want to do with this is it does have the numbers for 1, 2, 3, basically how you should write it. I would say before you even start the handwriting, just trace this, sit down with your child and maybe trace this in following the number order. So I do like that, the sequencing, it reminds them, because a lot of students will write their numbers or their letters from bottom top instead of top to bottom, or right to left versus right to left. So I do like that this has the number prompting for them. It's got cute activities where they're tracing the letters. Again, they have their prompting for them. And then they have little connect the dots activities or like a coloring activity to make it a little bit more fun. So I would say that I do like this handwriting. The other handwriting that I have also used is handwriting with tears, and I can do a second video about that. All right, the next thing that is in this kit is Math K. So it looks like these are the manipulatives, the dice, equation dice, game pawns, cars, and counting sticks. Okay, so this is gonna supplement the textbook for math, which is great that they included this, because sometimes like you can use random things around the house, but it is nice to have something set. Next thing that I see in my kindergarten kit is reading booster cards. All right, this is what I love. This is really important because this is where your phonics and building good readers are gonna come in. You have your vowel patterns, your CBCs. So I would personally use these, but I wouldn't necessarily use these with the kids immediately. I would probably maybe do some chalk on the driveway, write some of these words, maybe cut out index cards, let them play it with a little bit so that it's kind of like they're recognizing it. And then from there, move on to reading these, because it can be a lot. Or again, remember, cover up, do one at a time, move over, because a lot of these kids that haven't seen these words or don't have foundational skills, it is a lot, and you don't want them to feel discouraged. So I would say use this as a guide for yourself, build on the skill, and then once you see that they're a little bit closer to proficiency, then use these. But I do love that they're there, so that's awesome, booster cards. And then the next thing that it includes, and that was the end of my package, is the reading booster books. So it's got a list of 20 books, and it tells me in the back what the pattern for the book is. So CBC words, sight words, CK words, word families, that's really cool. I would say that this is kind of similar to the Bob books. So these are great. I wouldn't leave these in your kids' room just for free play. This is more of something that you want to sit down and be intentional with them. And once they become proficient, then maybe they add it to their library. But yeah, that was my unboxing video of the Good and Beautiful. It was so easy to choose a package, super fast shipping. And if you are in the state of Florida and you have your Step Up Scholarship, it does work on this. So if there is any other homeschool curriculum that you would like a review, or if you want to see how I use this, check out my other videos.